Yo people, and welcome to the Red Pitch podcast. And today we're at the Emirates for the Arsenal versus Monaco game in the Emirates Cup. It's sure to be a banger. Hopefully we can get the win, keep our consistency going into the season. Let's go. Yo guys, and Arsenal entertained Monaco for the Emirates Cup today. Final score was 1-1 in normal time, and the Gunners eventually winning 5-4 on penalties. Now before the game, us Arsenal fans, we got the dreaded news that Gabriel Jesus underwent a minor surgery on the same knee that he injured last season, and he will be out for a considerable amount of weeks. Now, this really put a downer on the fan base, wondering what was going to happen, and especially seeing the team line up, and as Florent Balogun was left out of the side completely. Now, that just left it up to one man, and that man, Eddie Nketiah, who was named the official captain for yesterday's game. Now, a lot of fans on social media before the game, up in arms. They're a bit upset with Balogun being out of the squad and Eddie being our only main attacker in the squad that we have really going into the season. It looks like Balogun is going to be sold. A lot of fans, were already speaking negatively on Eddie, getting on Eddie's back. And listen, we've all had our fair share of negative publicity towards Eddie, as a lot of fans do feel that we do need a very, very dominant number 9 and someone that is going to score us 20 to 25 goals in the league itself a season. And a lot of fans don't think Eddie is the man to do that. Now, do I think he's the man to do that? Only time can tell. I mean, listen, whenever Eddie's been given a chance, he's proven a lot of people wrong and he's scored goals. Now today, he didn't have the best of games, but he found himself in certain pockets. His hold-up play was excellent and he made it through good, decent runs. But as we know, Eddie is not Gabriel Jesus. Eddie doesn't really often come deep, get the ball, and he's all over the pitch fighting. He's a man that, he likes to hang in and around the box and pick up all the scraps and gets the goals that way. Now, because our game isn't really too effective for him, I feel that he does get a lot of stick, but it's not his fault because he does work hard and he does try his best. Now, the formation we started with today, we decided to go Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu as the right back, Saliba and Jakub Kiwior in the centre, with Jory and Timber playing that inverted left back. Now, obviously, we've got Tierney on the bench. Arteta really doesn't seem to want to start Tierney. Tierney's an exceptional defender. Can he do the inverted left back? It remains to be seen. I believe he's been working on it. I believe with a little more coaching. That's not his natural game. We know Tierney's natural game is that art of defending, and when it comes to defending, he is probably one of the best at the club at defending. But Arteta seems to want to work with the inverted fullbacks, which I'm sure Tierney in time will get, and I wouldn't want him to go. I think he should stay, work on the game, and eventually evolve into that position and evolve to the player that Arteta wants. Now, in the middle, we started Declan Rice and Thomas Partey together. Thomas was in the 6, Rice was in the left 8. Now we know Rice hasn't played the left 8 before, and certain times he did look out of position, but he made a few good forward movements, a couple crosses into the box, which didn't lead to anything. But all-round play, I think Declan Rice was very good, and he will get used to it. It takes time. He's never been in this position before. A lot of fans, I was having a discussion with Scance, who's at the game with me, a Liverpool fan, and he reckons that Partey should play the left 8 and Rice should play the 6. Both of them, I'm sure they could both do that job. I think it's a thing where we may see that in future. We may see that. But I think Arteta did buy Rice to play that left 8. And I think he will evolve into that position as the season goes on. Now, up front, we had Nketiah was up front. And just behind him was Fabio Vieira on the right, Emil Smith-Rowe in the middle, and Gabriel Martinelli. Now, a lot of fans, they really have been getting on Fabio Vieira's back. Gabriel Vieira. See, we've got so many Gabriels. I just think everyone's called Gabriel. A lot of the fans have been getting on Fabio Vieira's back. Now, him playing on the right yesterday, I did hear a lot of people moaning and groaning, being in the stadium, that he wasn't really taking on players, he wasn't good enough. But listen, on the right-hand side, he played it neatly. I think he played a good game. We know that Fabio Vieira is not that type of player. He's not a Saka where he's going to get the ball and he's going to run at defenders and take on defenders. He's a player that he plays more in the middle. He's more of a 10. He gets the ball and he looks for those progressive passes. He doesn't really look to take on people. And I think he was given a hard time yesterday by a lot of fans. And I feel that he had a decent game on the right. He was tried out in that Bernardo Silva type role. And I think he done very well. And it's a thing where that's not his natural position. And I feel that if he's presented with that position in the future, I think he'll learn from it and he'll build from it. At the minute, I feel that the Premier League is a bit too quick for him and a bit too aggressive, because every time he got touched, he was on the floor. I think he needs to build up that physicality, that strength, just build up a little bit more. And I think he'll turn into a great player. He just needs time, and I think it's going to take time for him to adjust. I was saying preferably I would have preferred him to maybe go on loan to another Premier League side this season, as he's not really going to get much play in the team. And I think it'd be a good idea if he did actually go on loan. Now, Partey in the 6, again, spoke about Partey briefly before, but Partey was exceptional in the 6. Box to box, he was up and down, his progressive passes, he was just brilliant. And I'm so glad Thomas Partey is staying at this club, because if we had lost Partey as well as Xhaka, I think it would have been tough. It would have been tough. I know there was talks of us maybe looking at Alavia, looking at Caicedo, possibly, and other players. But I do believe Thomas Partey, if he stays fit, he's one of the best in that 6 in the whole league, if not the whole of Europe. But I think he just needs to, this season, he needs to keep his fitness down. And I'm glad we got the rotation now. I'm glad we've got people that can come in. I'm glad Rice can step back into that and give Partey a rest and bring other players in, Jorginho. So I'm glad we've got more. Our depth this season is going to be a lot stronger. And I think we need to protect Partey this season. Maybe keep him for the more important games, the Champions League games, the top 6 games. And then when it comes to like the lesser games in the league, the Lutons, etc., we don't play Thomas Partey. We put Jorginho in there, or we put Rice in there, and then someone like Trossard, Havertz, then move to the left 8. And I think that will be the most, organised thing that we could do to keep Thomas Partey fit. Now, away from Arsenal, a player that played yesterday for Monaco, who I think was exceptional. Really, really exceptional. And that was the Monaco defensive midfielder who also can play in the centre back and played in the back three yesterday. And his name is Sungutu Magassa. 19 years old, came through the system at Monaco, and he was exceptional. He's a box-to-box player. Like I said, he can play as a defensive midfielder or centre back. He's good with both feet, right? And he wins the ball and he finds optimal passing options all over the pitch. And yesterday, I think he was excellent. Now, Romain Poirot, who is our French scout, if he was doing anything yesterday, he was watching this boy, taking notes, going straight to Arteta and Edu and whoever else at the club and saying, this is the guy that we should be looking at. He was absolutely, absolutely brilliant. One of the best players on the pitch yesterday. And if I'm an Arsenal scout, I'm definitely going to the manager and speaking about him and, you know, trying to possibly get him in. Get him in with a loan back to Monaco for the season. And because he is a player that I feel he's going to go to the very, very top, and he's a rare gem. He's going to be one of those rare gems in the French team for many, many years to come. Just played in the under-20s World Cup as well, which he's got selected in. And I'm telling you, he's a player. He is definitely a player. Also alongside Youssouf Fofana, 24-year-old who played in defensive midfielder for Monaco. Again, I was at the game with Scance, who is a Liverpool fan, and he loved the look of Fofana. And I said to him, listen, you know, as Liverpool, maybe he could be an alternative to Lavia. If you don't want to pay the 50 million for Lavia, you could probably pay half price, 20 to 25, and get Fofana. He's an excellent player. Get on the phone to Klopp, sign him. You know, he's great potential. He's strong. He's very dynamic, and he was excellent. But yeah, man, what can I say? We've got Man City on Sunday, Community Shield. I will be there again. I'll be looking forward to it. I think we've got to do much better though. We've got to do much better. I really don't know. City, I think, are going to be a different animal again this season. But what can we do, man? We go into this and, you know, try and get the win. And, we try and go into the season on a high. Winning that game on Sunday will breed a lot of confidence throughout the squad going into the season. And let's just hope. Everyone keep supporting the team. Keep supporting Eddie. We know Jesus is going to be out. We know Balogun's probably going to leave. And we've got Eddie. Let's support Eddie. Whenever he gets the ball, let's encourage him. Let's push him. Let's not tear him down. Let's get him. So, yeah, man. See you Sunday. Wembley Community Shield. I'm out.